Welcome back. Rivian, day two of trading on the NASDAQ, up another 16% for a two-day total of about 50% from its $78 IPO price. And here to break down the latest moves is Yahoo Finance's auto expert, Pras Subramanian. Pras, thanks for joining us here. What can you tell us here on day two of trading for Rivian? Pretty positive for the investors, it looks like.
Yeah, Jared, no next day hangover here. Usually, right, these big IPOs, you get a next day sell-off. Not today. Yesterday, Rivian hit an $86 billion valuation, popped 50% yesterday. At one point now, it's even higher than that. I'm looking at shares $117 right now. You mentioned it, up over 15%. I think this is kind of like sealing the big bet that investors are making on or putting money to work in that EV wave, right? But aside from that, I see kind of two big fundamental points with Rivian. Number one, we heard them talking about how they wanted to scale up, make around 1 million vehicles a year by 2030. So that's positive news. They're looking at a site, I think, right now in Fort Worth, Texas, to build a second plant. But also, CEO RJ Scaringe in an interview with Bloomberg talking about how there's a two-pronged approach, right? We talk about the commercial side of the business with the last mile electric vehicles they're selling to Amazon, plus the non-commercial part, the consumer part with the pickups, and then eventually the SUVs. But Jared, it's really a big EV kind of like boost recently, right? We're seeing a lot of companies like Lucid up a lot, Fisker up a lot, Lordstown, which is going to report tonight, they're up a lot today. And then GGPI, that's the Gores Guggenheim SPAC, that Polestar, that's the EV spinoff of Volvo. That'll be trading under eventually. So I think we're talking about a bigger EV wave here, Jared, and Rivian's is sort of this big new stock issue catalyst for that entire trade.
Well, I want to look at the Wi-Fi Interactive here because I have our EV heat map, and there's a tremendous amount of green today. You mentioned Lordstown Motors, Ride, that's in the upper left. That's up the most, up 22%. But we take a look at this stock on a year-to-date basis, and you can see still marred in the red here. Just wondering what investors are looking for in this report, earnings after the bell today.
That's right, Jared. We'll be reporting that after the bell tonight. And look, Lordstown is a different story, right? They don't have any vehicles yet built there. Their Lordstown Endurance pickup is still kind of in the prototype stages. They're doing some deals with Foxconn and people like that to get more capacity into their factory. But they're expecting another loss today on zero revenue again. So hopefully the loss won't be as big as the street is expecting. I think it's around an adjusted EPS of negative 56 cents a share. So hopefully they can not lose as much money as Wall Street may expect them to. So that's sort of the trade Lordstown. I'm sort of, they're not like Rivian, right? They're far from Rivian right now. They have a new CEO. Hopefully they can turn it around, but they're in some kind of headwinds right now as we approach their earnings day tonight.
Yeah, and as we can see on the Wi-Fi Interactive here, they are definitely not in the Tesla cap. I'm looking at a market cap for Lordstown Motors in the upper left here, 1.22 billion. Rivian, on the other hand, wow, I think it's 115 billion right now. What a story there. Thanks for joining us, Yahoo Finance's Pras Subramanian.